Hello, folks, and welcome to High Fever, the Indiana Fever basketball podcast. I'm your host, Josh Persenis. 194, Atlanta Dream, Indiana Fever in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Atlanta Dream go to 5-5, and your Indiana Fever fall to 4-7. Let's talk about some game leaders. Alicia Gray, 25. Aliyah Boston, 25. Cheyenne Parker, 7 rebounds. Nalissa Smith, 7 rebounds. Nia Coffey, 6 assists. And Erica Wheeler had 8 assists. Man, that was a tough game, man. That was kind of one of those wire to wire. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Oh, it's a really not looking good game. Um, just, just really, not good defensive effort. A inefficient offense, a physical game that it just seemed like the Fever didn't want to be in. You know, they go 4 of 19 from three, 21%. It's just that's not gonna win games. Like, I know that we live in the pain and we don't have this sort of automatic 3 point shooter, but 21%, you've got to be smarter selecting your spots and figuring out when you're going to take those shots because that's just not going to get it done. We'll talk here. A couple times I'm watching this game and the defense just stops, and like I'm not even going to call anybody out here, but it was a couple times where like players just stop, like they just pull up or they get lost on a screen or a cut, and it's just a collapse. Defensively, I'm a little worried. Um, last game we did pretty well, but yeah, this one was really ugly on the defensive end. I think they've, they got a lot of film to watch because that was pretty darn ugly. They go on a road trip. They go to Seattle to go play the Storm. So I'm hoping they can iron some of this out in the 4 days that we have. Aliyah Boston at 25. One thing I did like from this game, Aliyah Boston was physical. She was assertive. She got into her stuff, even while the other parts of the offense weren't really clicking. That was something that I appreciated and I saw that I liked from this game. It was a 14-point lead halfway through the third, and I mean, I guess to the Fever's credit, they didn't roll over, because I guess a team could have just rolled over. Um, the bench in particular, I'm proud of the bench. Good job on the bench. They kind of held it together while, um, especially into that third and into that fourth, where they could have folded. There was a double-digit lead, like they could have just slept, but I mean, they allowed the Fever to make it close. Physical game. I mean, damn the the Dream. We beat them by what was it? We beat them by 3 last time. Um, Last game we beat them by 3 in Atlanta. Um, and that was a physical game. Damn, they are just big and they will throw their body at you. Not afraid to catch a foul. I I guess if you're the Fever, um, I guess you're not looking to face any more physical teams. But yeah, this whole game was just bodies going everywhere, a couple fouls, a couple technicals. I mean, you know, tough team. The Dream have got there. You know, this is not a Dream podcast, but 5-5, looking good for the Atlanta Dream. Yeah, I think if the Fever want to continue on a winning path, they broke their 2 game win streak, which you know, that's not great. But if they want to be on a winning path, like, uh, let's be a little bit less afraid. I'll point this out. I'm a Lexi Hull fan club founding member. Okay, uh, she was unplayable. Her style, when she's not like running a fast break or a spot up from the floor. you know, if Haley Jones is so big, the, they just couldn't keep her in. Emma Cannon had to come in, and at the end of the game it was Christy Wallace in her starting spot, and I'm like, damn, this was not 2 points for Lexi Hull. This was not her. You're not putting this on the Lexi Hull highlight tape. But yeah, dude, physical game. Just real mouth punch. I think to a team that I thought was starting to build some momentum. Queen Egbo, productive minutes. I wrote that down. You know, anybody who comes in, last year she was starting. We drafted Aliyah Boston. Obviously, she's been relegated to the bench. But Queen Egbo came in, put up some productive minutes, held the second unit together. I'm happy with it. I'm satisfied with her production so far. So kudos to Queen Egbo for keeping it together while I don't know, the rest of the team was kind of struggling. I wrote this down. Emma Cannon turns the ball over during the inbounds. They were talking about this on the broadcast. You're when you inbound the ball, both your feet need to be outside of the court. Need to be out of bounds technically. But you can have a foot hovering over the inbounds while 1 foot is out of bounds, which I think is what happened here. But the ref saw that one of her feet was inbound, the other one was outbound, out of bounds. It was a weird call, kind of, kind of like a okay, like you're paying attention, congratulations, you know what I mean? But even on the broadcast, they called it out. You got to call that fine, get pay your bills, man. You know, um, other than that, Fever were pretty good. A couple turnovers. I'll tell you what, they were actually picking the pocket of Haley Jones. I think, on the last Fever Dream pod, I was praising Haley Jones. You know, not a great showing from Haley Jones. I think she needs to kind of work on her ball skills. But once they kind of noticed that, I think they picked her pocket twice. So some savvy stuff from the Fever. Right at the end of the game, they got it within 4. Um, that gave me a glimmer of hope that this team can make runs. This is what this season has been. Honestly, all about. I just a team that gets streaky, that's hot. And then on the other half of the coin is what happened today, where it just felt like the offense couldn't get it together, and then the defense was honestly just letting anybody through. Um, Looking forward, we've got a game Thursday at the Storm in Seattle. Uh, the Storm have kind of picked it up a little bit. They're now 3-7, so you know hopefully hopefully the Fever can go into their building and get it done. Because after that, it's the Aces, um, twice in Vegas, twice. So yeah, they've got some tough sledding ahead, but it's gonna be a tough road trip coming up. It's a West Coast road trip these next 4 games. So yeah, let's 1-3, 2-2. I don't know. Into some WNBA news actually. Um, I'm sure everybody's heard of the incident with Brittany Griner at the airport. Well, WNBA responded. Now they can book kind of like semi-charter. It's not technically charter, but it's JSX, Jet Sweep, which is like a charter kind of service. Because technically you can have other people on there, but I'm assuming that they'll just rent out the whole plane. There's some like very minute rules with that I haven't entirely figured out, but that's cool. Whatever for the safety, it does blow my mind that the WNBA hasn't allowed teams to charter planes, but yeah, I read in the ESPN article that it was like a cost thing. Like they're worried about the cost being too much, and then like if certain owners, if the owners pay for it, then it would be like an unequal, because if one owner doesn't want to pay for it, it can kind of get dicey. But um, so far this is kind of like a middle ground that I think appeases most players. Um, we'll see how this goes. I assume they're looking to expand it. But that's your that's your WNBA news update. I guess I will see you on Thursday.